Welcome at the fourth video. During the module Interventions, you have learned about all the interventions you can use and how to manage water. Well, next I will discuss with Professor Steven about the challenges he sees in the field of interventions, how we can manage our water. Professor Steven, you and your colleagues of the hydraulic department explained the many interventions that mankind has made in our rivers, along our coast and in our estuaries and deltas. As you explained earlier, there is a lot more knowledge to share, right?
Indeed. And again, we would focus both on a qualitative and a quantitative understanding of how to design both the functional and technical aspects of interventions to support our sustainable use of our water systems.
In relation to climate change, what major challenges do you see?
There are many challenges, but I would like to highlight two major challenges. Firstly, we need to find the proper balance between our socio-economic use of our water systems and the preservation of their dynamic abiotic and biotic behavior. In our quest for optimal socio-economic use, we've often squeezed the many land-water transitions along our coasts, rivers, estuaries, deltas and lakes. Giving space along these transitions to allow adapting to climate change effects is our first major challenge. Secondly, whereas in the past interventions were mainly hard engineering based, we need to develop soft engineering based interventions. Good examples are sediment-based coastal interventions such as nourishments, where use is made of natural processes to achieve a variety of both socio-economic and ecological objectives. These two major challenges will form an important agenda in the coming decades.
Like Professor Steve already told you, you have to take in account all kinds of elements of the water systems when thinking about an intervention. This kind of philosophy we also teach our students. So now you will look at one of our students, Teun de Jager, who is doing a project in the harbors of the Bahamas. And he will show you that not only the technical parts are important, but also other elements of the water system.
Hi, my name is Teun Jager and I'm a master student of coastal engineering at the TU Delft. And currently I'm on an internship at Van Noord on their project at the Bahamas. The project involves upgrading works of the existing port facilities in Coral Harbour on the island of New Providence and the forward operating locations at Matthewtown on the island Great Inagua and Gunpoint in Ragged Island. The upgrading works involve dredging works to be able to enter the harbour with larger vessels, civil works on shore and the construction of larger breakwaters to protect the harbour against severe storms and hurricanes. Due to climate change, hurricanes will increase in intensity, which leads to bigger waves and higher setup values, which has to be accounted for in the design of these kind of breakwaters, and the quay walls of course. During the upgrading works, this project also pays attention to the environment by reducing turbidity in the dredging works and by a rehabilitation program for the coral reefs. 900 pieces of coral reefs have carefully been relocated from the entrance channel before dredging started. Besides these coral relocation, Van Noord made a number of adjustments to restore the hydrology of the adjacent mangrove forest by cleaning and reopening the entrance. For me as an intern, I'm directly involved in the design of these structures and solutions, which is a perfect way to bring your theoretical knowledge into practice and challenge your marine ingenuity, especially on a location like this.
At Delft University, researchers from our hydraulic engineering department are doing great work in addressing the challenges that Professor Steven mentioned, so that we can find solutions for a better future, step by step. Listen, for example, to Professor Jonkman, who is involved in an outdoor testing facility for temporary flood defenses.
Flood risk reduction is very important for low-lying areas along rivers and coasts. We do a lot of research on dikes and storm surge barriers, but here in this facility we also investigate temporary flood defenses. Temporary flood defenses are additional defenses that we use to protect the permanent defenses or valuable areas like cultural and heritage areas or industries. And here you see one of the test basins of our facility, Floodproof Holland, where we test one of those temporary defenses called the box barriers. And this is basically an alternative for the traditional sandbags. Here we look with our students and the manufacturers at the stability and strength of those defenses, also in extreme conditions. And we also test how reliable they are and the logistical aspect, so how fast we can build such a defense. And in the other basins of this facility, all kinds of innovations are tested, and it also serves as a demonstration lab, but also as a research facility.
This demonstrates how the Dutch keep their feet dry, using clever ideas to manage water. So there's only one video left, which we'll see in just a few minutes. This video will be about the challenges of the water resource management.